That's just the intro, so you're good on banner. Just keep it on what the banner is right now.
Give me some banners, buddy. No.
No, but here's the segment list again.
This is who I am, and I got good news. Well, one who has unreliable friends soon comes to a ruin, but there is a friend. Oh, but there is a friend who sticks to you closer than a brother. That's come from Proverbs 18:24, y'all. I am so excited on this Tell Me Something Good Tuesday. Y'all already know who it is. It's your girl, Tamara Fair, on the air, and y'all already know where we are. It's the Brunch Bunch on Inspiration 1390. Do you know what? I was scrolling through Instagram early this morning and I saw something so disturbing. But guess what? I'm not going to tell it to you right now. Man. I'm going to put you on that cliff and then I'm going to bring you back to land. Don't go nowhere. We got way more to share. Y'all, I'm sitting in the studio with a host of Brunch Bunches, starting with your main man.
Hey, it's Adam. Kind of filling in for Marcel.
And you know what today is? It is Community Chatter with Win-Win Productions, Win-Win Communications, and the winner herself, Winona Redmond. She will be in the building in a very few minutes. Y'all, don't touch that dial. Stay for a while. We got a whole lot to talk about. It's Inspiration 1390.
What's up?
You gotta throw that in your repertoire more.
What?
The dial will be right.
You so funny.
Back up. You were sick yesterday.
Back up.
Tamara, where you at?
I don't do that, so I clearly didn't have nothing to do with it.
Your camera, hey, Facebook, it say Tamara Fair, but no, your camera off.
What, hers is?
Yeah, it said block. I'm resetting her.
You got the name?
Tamara Fair
I'm
on
looking at
the
the
air.
shade room. I'm not finding nothing.
Yeah. So go ahead and call 866-447.
Now they can see this superstar.
Yeah, because that's what I do.
Call today and make a wise choice to secure
the plan,
your
the
tomorrow.
checks,
Secure home and automation.
Hey, y'all. Tamara, I see you, girl, looking like summertime, don't she?
Summertime.
Listen, Tammy shining so bright, the lights are up in here. I needed my sunglasses walking up in here. And because I just want to cut off. Because Tamara Fair is lighting up this studio. Listen, I need sunglasses to look at you. That's what the in the raw is.
I'm trying to figure out how I look the exact same as I did yesterday, almost to the point where I might have had the same clothes.
Same clothes, and you will do that. No, you look. listen, you got the whole room lit.
It's
I
the
walked up
Holy
in
Ghost.
here like,
It's
what?
the Holy Ghost, y'all. I told y'all when I came back from DC, the aneurysm gone. No,
I just shared your testimony at Northwestern.
did you?
Yeah,
What
so
did you say,
I
Marcel?
told them that you know, you got to get out a little more often, Tammy, because I run into more people and they always talk about how they love the show. They love the show. And I said, Tamara's been talking about her aneurysm, but her brain aneurysm. And the lady said, we've been praying. And I said, well, she went this weekend to the scent of a godly woman. And she said that aneurysm is gone.
Gone, baby. Let me tell you something. I wake up every morning now with a newfound energy, and I can attribute that to nothing. Say it with me, but God, y'all. I can't get nobody to help me.
You got some help up in here.
I got some help up in here.
But you know what I learned yesterday from your testimony?
What you learned?
And the Bible teaches us that we have to deny our flesh every day.
Yes.
Because as you were sharing the testimony, my flesh was saying, well, how's she going to say she healed? You know, my mind, but she can go to the doctor yet. And I said, but you know what? The Lord slapped me upside my head and said,
I hope he slapped you on both sides.
Both sides. It's your faith that makes you whole.
That's right.
And I was sharing that with them at the hospital this morning. And we was in that cafeteria about to run around.
Run around the whole cafeteria. Let me tell you something. I'm running around. I got so much energy. And you know what? That energy woke me up this morning at about 4:40. And we always say that the first thing you do is get your phone. And this was the second thing I did, because the first thing I did was praise him. Then I got the phone.
Yeah.
And I started strolling, but it just kept me on it, because there was a young lady that got on a plane. Her name is Bobby Storm. You might know her. She is a gospel artist. She has, as of yesterday, been notified that she is now a 2-time Grammy nominated artist. You all know how hard that is?
That is hard.
Especially in the gospel world. You know, we can get the Stellas, we can get the Doves, but to get a Grammy is a phenomenal feat. Well, she was so excited. She got on her plane and she said to all of the people, hey, y'all, I am a 2-time Grammy nominated artist, and I want to sing my song. And the song is Don't Forget Him. Well, here comes the steward Nazi telling her, you gotta be quiet. She said, why? She led the whole, gave everybody in the first class the whole lead up, and she explained them, and they were not like real excited, but you could tell they wanted to hear, because you know, you got to bring it a lot when you say you can sing. Right. So she started singing, and here comes the steward, and you would have thought that she said, I got a bomb on the plane, the way he reacted. And she said, well, they're enjoying it. He said, but I'm not. Ooh. So I'm gonna need you to sit down and be quiet. Let me know if you can sit down and be quiet. She said, well, I can. Am I going to be pitched off the flight if I don't? Or am I going to be arrested if I don't? She kept her composure just like a godly woman would.
Yes.
And he said, he walked away. She sang her song quietly. The crowd cheered, but she kept her composure. And that's what I say to you all. That's the message for today. Don't forget about him. Yep. When you want to go left and slap somebody upside the head with your tongue, he will make you go right. And you know what? I
like that you said with your tongue, because we do more fighting with our words than we do with our hands. Yeah. My granny used to say, I'm not going to whoop you, I'm going to tongue lash you.
Yes, that tongue lashing is something else, because if you think about it, if there's life and death in the spoken word, you can kill somebody with your words.
Christy Love said that flight attendant was a hot, evil mess.
A hot, evil mess. But guess what? Very rarely do I stroll down and look at the comments, but for whatever reason, I was led to look at so many evil comments. Hey, when I get on the flight, I don't want to hear that noise. Hey, listen, if this is the time and the place, this wasn't the time and the place. Let me tell you something. There's no right or wrong time or place when you want to spread the good news about the good Lord.
Uh-oh, now here goes devil's advocate.
No,
I am almost, oh Lord, I'm gonna get jumped. Like Granny should have paid that garbage bill. But no, I mean, I get it. When you pay, and you never know what people are going through, and some people are not all believers. So I'm not paying to go to a concert. I may want it to be quiet. This is like a baby making all that noise, on the flight. It's like, I didn't pay to get on this flight for this. I paid to get on it. But a believer like myself and you, Tammy, we would have enjoyed. Because you get on the flight with me after a few of my
Drinks.
sedatives. After a few of my sedatives, I'm going to be praising God and singing loud on the plane
Let me
anyway.
say this, and that's where I resonated with her, because if I'm on a flight, I'm already nervous, and that voice, first of all, she had a melodic, fabulous voice.
Yeah.
I don't think the Grammys are just passing out Grammys. I don't think you can buy a Grammy. So she had to have a huge amount of talent, but she exhibited that talent on her live, and literally, I don't know if it was her live, because somebody must have been taking it in the shade room, got it. Because the shade room get the news before ABC, NBC, before API get the news. And so when I saw that, I was like, now, if that plane started rocking uncontrollably, you'd be asking, hey, Robbie, you want to run that song back by me?
Well, I think the better protocol for Robbie would have been, and even though she did it and ain't no taking it back, right?
Nope.
But the next time, talk to the flight attendant, because you always find a cool one, you know.
Not him.
Not that one, right?
He was
talk
uncool.
To one of the other ones, not the evil one, and say, hey, you know, I just want to bless the flight. I'm a Grammy winner. And they may call you up at the end. You know, I was on the flight once and I said, it's my birthday. Now, it wasn't my birthday, God forgive me. But she got on the mic. She got on the mic and she said, it's Action Jackson's birthday, on his way to NOLA. And they sang. It was cool. I definitely wanted the free sedative to make sure I got to my destination.
Well, you know what? It was just God that led me to her, because what are the chances of you being a gospel artist who's 2-time nominated and a gospel radio personality sees your live and then gives you love? That's nothing but divine intervention. And let me say this, go on her page for all of you believers, all the saints, and even the ain'ts. Go on her page and give her some love, because Buddy sure didn't.
Yeah, it's a mess. We, you know, some people are just mean and malicious. I was coming to the radio yesterday. This has never happened to me, Tammy. A young lady is crossing the street, and I'm stopping to let her go. And she frowned up at me and said, would you just move the car? And I said, I'm letting you go. Go. I said, well, I'm going to go with your little ugly self. And I turned the corner. And I said, Lord, forgive me. I've never yelled out the window. But see, her spirit made me so mad.
Well, you know, that had nothing to do with you, right? It was everything that came to that crosswalk that she brought with her. And we're praying for her too. But you know what? A lot of times we have to stop in our tracks before we take our pointed boots and kick somebody in their shin. We have to stop in our tracks, and we have to do what would Jesus do?
WWJD.
Yes. Because let me say this, when I started reading those comments, and I mean, they were plentiful. I didn't get to read all of them because there were so many. But you know, I wrote a book on it, right? Because I'm a writer. So I wrote the book, and I said to them, you know what? This is just hating. She got those Grammys. She's not nominated no more. Those Grammys are hers. Thank you for your talent. Thank you for sharing your gift, and continue to bless the world. So that's what I'm saying to each and every one of you. When I told you guys, I used to early before R. Kelly was R. Kelly, I used to manage him. He used to sing in the.
Why you gotta go? You gotta get all that backstory. You manage R. Kelly. It's okay. That's your boy.
Don't play with me and don't interrupt me, because I'll get this pointed boot. But anyway, so he used to sing on the L, right?
Mm-hmm.
And suppose someone had stopped him. Suppose someone tried to silence his talent, his gift.
Yeah.
And that goes for anybody who has a burgeoning gift inside of them. I don't care where the spirit hits you. You bring it. Because let me see how God did.
Right.
See what it did? He gave you all that anointing.
Gave you the echo. You sound like Dorinda Clark Cole for a second.
Y'all, it's 1390, y'all, and I am just excited for today, as I was yesterday, and I'm going to be tomorrow, because as we bring you these resources, news, and level you up, it doesn't always have to be in the form of a grant. It could just be in the form of encouragement, which is what today's story is. If you have a gift, share the gift with the world. Share your gift with your world, and don't let any haters stop you.
That's right. Well, listen, Reverend John Stamps in Northwestern just said the brunch bunch. He said, I listen every day. Y'all always just helping people.
Aww.
So you know what? Shout out to the brunch bunch. Shout out to you, Tamir Fair.
And shout out to Northwestern. Y'all got any neurosurgeons for me?
You don't need them. You don't need them. Listen, your faith is making you whole. The Bible says you just gotta have faith the size of a grain of a mustard seed.
But I got faith the size of the ocean.
There you go. So you are made whole. Listen, we got a great show today.
Yes,
we rocking and rolling on this Tuesday.
And you know what? Victor Moss said it is the not Victor Moss, J Moss.
I wasn't going to correct you either.
No, you wanted to.
I did. I was jumping over y'all. Right.
Yes. You know what? Let me say this to you, Saints. When you got people who wait for you to make a mistake, it's time for you to get a new crew. But when you got a crew, a squad that helps you when you make a mistake, those are the ones you keep. Keep it locked right here, y'all. We about to get down. This is Inspiration 1390. You do know you're leading today.
I know, but I didn't want to cut you off.
What's the new thing?
I didn't want to cut your story outro off and mess it up. And I'm going to do what's going on. Hello.
Hey, Justice, you didn't do the banner there. In the raw.
Yeah, it makes you. Yep.
Yeah. Just listen for when the intros come, and that's when you know to switch the banner.
Yeah, Tammy's always in the raw, Justice. And I'm doing what's going on, not what in the Caucasian. And it's going to be quick. So Winona and.
Well, she's not here yet. So
I know.
So what's going on is next. Just don't put it up until we go live with the video. Cool.
Make sure you're getting some background clips.
Yes.
Posting on the store. Oh, and okay, cool. Sugar. I'm on 10. I've had so much caffeine. And 2 hours of sleep.
Hey, does Valencia drink caffeine?
Yes.
Tell her to stop.
I did today. We went to she went to Starbucks and I said
she can do tea.
She can do tea. I mean, but
get off the coffee.
Can you drink caffeine?
You can. You should.
Shouldn't though.
Yeah.
Like
so do we? I'm gonna talk about this.
It's like a glass of wine when you're pregnant.
Say hi to
Right,
Molly,
oh,
Purple Turtle Molly.
Let me see this. With these little chunky knees. Go ahead.
Come on with these chunky knees. Nobody want no skinny baby.
Sure don't. Listen. Now this is a baby.
So nobody want no skinny baby.
Well, Chuck Taylor. She don't talk. The cat talk.
What cat?
The turtle.
I mean, Lord, I'm thinking of.
What's wrong with the man?
I'm thinking of Alex and the fat cat. The turtle talk.
Oh,
cat.
Yeah.
Right. You know, I'm like, wait, the turtle talk.
The turtle talk.
Okay.
The turtle will be here next week.
Oh, this is so dope.
Her eyes are going to be purple, though.
Okay,
mask.
I was going to ask.
Yeah, her eyes are
And a mask.
No, when we're producing masks, her eyes are purple.
I'm going to say, you going to make a COVID baby now?
Yeah, I should.
Right.
But,
this is Tamara's dial. Modi to go with the book series. Oh.
Tamara and Tanya.
I was going to say you got to put a name on her, but then it's like you don't want no tattoo on the baby doll.
No.
Maybe the shirt should have
Modi. Yeah, no.
No. Something.
No, because little girls might want to name her something else.
But that ain't it. We brand this Modi.
I know it is Modi. But like when you go to the American Girl doll, they don't have American Girl.
They do have names though.
They have names, Modi.
But not on the.
No.
Okay.
They don't have it on their clothing.
Okay, I like her.
She likes you too. She told me. Oh, what? Put the name right there?
Yeah, you see this right there now.
Oh, well, her hair has to have a part, so it's got to come down.
Gotcha. But I'm saying, can you have them to do that for you then? Just instead of that, put Modi doll.
I could.
Just say.
Because that way it's not intrusive.
Right.
But it's definitely branded.
It's branded. 100 years from now, won't nobody be confused.
Exactly. Or try to
say it was something else.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Is this gonna be a series of these or just the one?
No, then we will have, because book 2 has mermaids, so we'll have mermaids. Well, we have the turtle for sure. We'll have mermaids. And then
but the turtle gonna be plush.
Turtle, it's not gonna be. It is.
It is. Okay, excuse me, Beanie Baby, watch out.
Well, it's a nightlight too. And it talks.
What is?
The turtle.
Oh, I thought that's a dog. I said,
What was you about to say? She could light up too. Her eyes could light up.
I don't need nobody looking at me.
I don't want nobody about to say. I be in my room talking about Lucy or Satan.
Y'all the plane attendant.
Oh, you know what?
I do not want
Y'all are the steward on the plane.
That's why I have Megan looking at you.
Will you please give me some chips?
Yeah, what kind do you want?
Kind of eat.
Now get one of them packs. You don't eat the little packs no more with the nuts and seeds.
Here, no, I got a popcorn kernel on the floor.
Oh.
Here. Make your next move your best move. Girl, if you don't take your stuff out my purse.
Arielle. Yeah. Congratulations, new CEO of the Business Leadership Council.
Yes, honey.
I love Avis Lavelle and
my mentor.
Hey guys, it's Tamara Fair.
Charles, and I was just with Corey. I always say his name wrong. Tim Staines.
They understand what it means to protect these memories. As a BRICS authorized
I'm sure she is.
Avis Lavelle is still in leadership.
She serves as a advisory to us now.
So Monet said she can come next Thursday.
You told who?
Monet's good for next Thursday.
Not next Thursday. That's Thanksgiving. The following Thursday.
Well, the Thursday, not Thanksgiving.
No, don't play. I got to check on you because you be saying. Well,
and I was about to say, did you put it on the calendar? Because you would have knew next Thursday was Thanksgiving too. Make sure you lock it in.
Yeah, Thursday the 30th.
So go ahead and call 866-447-3344.
How many seconds?
20.
3344. Call today and make a wise choice to secure your tomorrow. Secure home and all.
Yeah, we got 10 seconds. Hey, oh, I love this hairdo. Look, oh, you're looking that retreat.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
3344. Where's the action, Jack?
Well, what's going on is Tamara said something to me yesterday that just took me home. I went home and I just kind of meditated on it. I called Charmaine. We were talking and I said, Tamara, mid-show looked at me and said, your countenance never changes with all that you go through. And me and Charmaine was just talking about it. And I said, some days I just smile and some days I want to go home and cry. But you know what? I just keep standing on God's promises. I said, and I'm literally standing on the promises of God, which allow my countenance not to change. So as you know, baby MJ has had his health issues and health scares. And recently we got a call that they did an ultrasound. And, I share baby MJ's testimony because he my son. Plus, I know that the believers are praying. And so the ultrasound.
Prayed him out that hospital.
They prayed him out the hospital. 6 months, if you don't know his story, 6 months in the hospital from birth. And now he's dealing with his health issues. But we went to the doctor last week. And his doctor said, oh, he's doing good. You know what? I told Valencia, we got to celebrate small victories.
Yes.
We didn't realize that children with his disease do not eat. And the doctor was asking us, we said, well, he eats this and he eats that. And the doctor said, wait, he eats? He's really eating? And I said, yeah. She said, my patients with his disease don't eat. They just depend on their TPN, the nutrition and IV. And I said, well, he eats. And she said, well, let him keep eating. She said, and keep feeding. And then she suggested things we should give to him to help him. And he went for an ultrasound. The ultrasound tech said we were giving him something. And she said, wait, he eats? And there was somebody else in another department. And, I love God. So I'm in the room about to start shouting. Valencia didn't get it. But when we got to the garage, she said, wait a minute. Did these people just tell us that babies with MJ's condition don't eat? And I said, yes. And she just lifted her hands and said, thank you, Lord. So Of course, the enemy comes in like a flood, but God will lift up a standard. The ultrasound results came back that MJ had lesions on his liver. And
From eating?
no, not from eating. They just were doing a routine checkup on him, and so they called and they said we need to do an emergency MRI. So we want to make sure it's not cancer. And I'm like, Lord, I know you didn't bring us this far to leave us, but you know what? Last night the Lord gave me a message after I was just leaning on your word. He said he's about to do it suddenly. And I went to Isaiah, the 48th chapter and the 3rd verse. And at the end of the verse, I'm cracking up because I'm feeling that. He said that he comes and he's going to do it. Isaiah was telling the saints that God can do it suddenly. And it made me think about your testimony with your brain aneurysm, what he brought MJ through. And I said, God, we believe you for a suddenly blessing.
Yeah.
And so we went at 7 this morning for this emergency MRI. We're waiting on the results, but I want the saints to bombard heaven on behalf of MJ, that I could come back and show a suddenly testimony that he did it again.
And it's already done. And it's already done. He has no lesions. You know what he has? An appetite.
That's it. I said we're gonna be talking about.
You broke out into a cold sweat.
I know. I'm like nervous, and I'm like, you know what? We overcome by the words of our testimony, and I just believe that the saints that listen to us on the radio, and you all are praying so hard for my family and I just had to share this preview of a coming attraction. That's what we're gonna call it. And you know what? Saints, keep praying, but you know what? We don't have to pray for any good information, because coming up next is community chat. And you know why Nona always brings the noise, and every time she comes, I make a new best friend. So listen, don't go nowhere. We got way more to share right here on Inspiration 1390.
You need to go put your face in the freezer.
Woo! Listen, I'm up 2 hours of sleep. Valencia had, stuff yesterday, so she was asleep, and the new baby kept me up.
The new baby got a name?
All night long.
Yes. I'm tired of waiting.
Maddox would not sleep. MJ went to sleep at like 11:30. He usually go to sleep at 7:30.
And sleep all night?
You can tell this
Yes.
the second baby, because the first one all over the internet. He's so tired.
I know.
They say with the second baby, he's so tired. We didn't see no.
I said, Maddox, would you go to sleep? We got to be
Maddox
up
has
early.
no issues.
No issues. And
He was born preem.
He was born preemie. Well, that's only 4 pounds, but he is doing good. I got a picture of him. This is how he was sleeping last night.
Peacefully.
With his hand under his chin. For an hour, right at 3 this morning. And I was up at 5, so I'm off.
So do you guys know Arielle?
No, we just met. I just congratulated her.
Arielle is your new best friend for real. This sister got it going on. She is the new head of the BLC, but she has her own agency. And Arielle, I think we'll leave with 2 brand new members of BLC.
Amazing.
Because she is just
You smell great.
Thank you. This is
Zoe.
I just had to say that.
Cut this and drop.
But where's my perfume?
Community.
I asked you to bring me 2.
Which one?
Both.
Okay, I'll bring 2 you
She
next
got to
Tuesday.
do perfume.
Oh,
Let's have
really?
oil.
Sponsored by Win-Win Communications.
Of course, this community chatter, she's the queen of connecting, the queen of shining a light on people. And she is just the queen in her own right. Is none other than our friend, one of the brunch bunches, Winona Redman.
I am so excited to be here. I was like, you all have been on fire. I was like, I'm ready to run in there and I'm ready to shout. I'm ready to walk around and run around. We're on Inspiration 1390. We're not just on any radio show.
Yes.
And we have that belief as believers. And we have a different testimony. We don't go in the natural. We do go in the spiritual. And we do know that, you can play all the songs and all the scriptures, but we got to play Marvin Sapp close. Because here comes trials, here comes confusions. When we're close to going to the next level, my mother had a testimony. So first of all, celebrating, because we thank God in advance for Tamara's aneurysm being cleared up. We know the outcome of most aneurysms are not people living and walking. I know that with all that you've gone through with MJ and all that you've gone through, that your testimony on Facebook and what you said this morning, we thank God in advance because we have doctors that have hands and expertise, but we know that we are the potter's clay.
That's it. That's
we
it.
Speak to the potter.
Yeah.
And my mother, this is Thanksgiving month, and God is such a blessing. If the Lord says the same, Monday, November 20th is the Win-Win 11th anniversary.
Woo!
We had a 400% increase in business during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Folks they said, do you realize how many businesses went out of business? That's because when you go in business, you learn how to pray better. And you
right about
realize that God is your source. So we're so happy to have Arielle, who is the new CEO. Arielle Johnson is the new CEO of the Business Leadership Council. But this is Thanksgiving month, and we're gonna do more on prayer. Next week is my Thanksgiving segment where I talk about the Dear Me Care Circle for caregivers, because how do we live with my mother's first anniversary of Thanksgiving without my mother? And that's what you have to do, following your faith.
Yep.
And so we celebrate our mothers and we're their legacy. I said, when I miss my twin, I look in the mirror without makeup and I see him. And then I do the work that he loved his children. So I know I got to work on his children. Ashley got a good report today. But Arielle Johnson is the head of the Business Leadership Council. And let me just tell you, Arielle, you just walked into the room with two new best friends.
Yeah.
Because these are serial entrepreneurs. I don't know. Marcel is the youngest entrepreneur, and he's had like 5 or 6 different businesses when I first met him. Since 15. This one here, Tamara Fair, aside from having the acting, aside from having a daycare, she doesn't just have like storefront daycare. She has a daycare with elevator and levels.
Huge. They are premier.
She's opened a bookstore with her daughter.
No, that's my daughter's, hers and hers alone.
Then she's got a perfume. Then she's got, I don't know what. But,
look, and a new baby doll to go with her children's book she wrote.
A new baby doll. But Arielle, it's sort of like when, to get someone to head the Business Leadership Council, she has a bad, serious background, having worked for the Central Management Services, having worked for the state, having worked as BEP for the secretary of the BEP Council. She had her own firm, and I was trying to get her to hire. I was trying to get her help before she took BLC. I was like, you got to come help me. You got to, because she had Arielle founded Fierce Staffing Services. So again, she had so many businesses, but Arielle, I don't want to take up any more time. Welcome to the Brunch Bunch. And she, share your background. And you have shared the new vision and your role at the Business Leadership Council, because we know that is the largest, the organization of the largest and the most successful African-American businesses in Chicago. And you have been on the zone. So welcome to the
Welcome.
You have 2 new members on the left of me.
Yes.
But come on, tell us what you are doing. Yes. Tell us where you came from and then what you're doing today.
Absolutely. So I came here actually by way of Detroit, Michigan.
Okay.
I've been in Chicago for about 5 years because God is sovereign and my steps are ordered, and they definitely brought me here. So really excited. I live in the Bronzeville area, and I attend fellowship.
Woo! Shipite.
And Brianna loves my soror, love them. But I started my entrepreneurial journey specifically in the events production space back in 2010 or so, and also seeing workforce development challenges in the city of Detroit. So long story short, took my background in working on Super Bowl 50, Final Four, etc., and seeing that there was lack of work opportunities. That is what brought us to start Fair Staffing Services, which is a workforce invested social enterprise that ensures that individuals in all the communities where we staff, whether it's Beyonce stops that happened this summer or working on Afrotech, we make sure that those local communities have the opportunity to work on those events and are paid a livable wage.
I love it.
And she executes flawlessly. That's why I'm like, I need you.
Yes.
So as a result, what that brings is advocacy, which is what I talk about at BLC all the time, to ensure a livable wage for individuals that you're working for. At the time, it was Detroiters, and I was real loud to the mayor, the governor, everybody. So the mayor was like, "Come work for me," and so I led the Civil Rights Department for the city of Detroit, which is the first municipal civil rights department of its kind, starting in race riots that happened in the 40s. So you can read about it in Delisle. And so as a result of trying to find some harmony and unity for specifically the Black community in Detroit at that time, which was the blackest city, where the Civil Rights Department was started. And that's what started my journey in supplier diversity. So from there, came to Chicago, led the Business Enterprise Program, which is supplier diversity for the state of Illinois. That's how I found BLC. So I was on the opposite side of the table with BLC of folks who wanted, like Avis Lavelle, who wanted to advocate for contracting opportunities for Black businesses.
Yes.
And they do it well.
Very
well. I'm
Absolutely.
a witness. They do it well.
Met Charles Smith, still running my business, but very much invested in now this work in public policy and making sure that our community is advocated for to be able to participate. Worked my way around the state and went back to my business, and now I'm here leading the Business Leadership Council, which is the premier Black organization of the top Black businesses and top Black executives in the city of Chicago. We are building the Black business ecosystem. And what does that mean? Is that Black businesses are in a position to thrive so that they can hire members in the Black community. We are on boards and commissions so we can direct opportunity to Black businesses and Black people. And ensuring representation in the C-suite. And so if it's Black people in this business, we're there. And so we're absolutely welcome to have more individuals in the space. But we talk a lot about minority contracting. When you're talking to me, we talk about Black contracting.
Hello.
Hello. Answer questions and share knowledge. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And something that's so important with BLC, there was ABLE, right, before BLC. And when you say BLC, here's an organization that has been forward thinking, that has turned over to new leadership, but they still have anchors, they still have mentorship. When the John Rogers of the world and the Jim Reynolds of the world and Frank Clark's. But before ABLE was the Alliance of Business Leaders. What was it? ABLE was
correct. So ABLE was another, organization that was focused in advocacy for Black businesses. In 2010, John Rogers, Jim Reynolds, that entire group, Melody Span Cooper, they wanted to make sure that there was a Black mayor, essentially. And so that's why we are a 501c6. We are very much engaged with the city of Chicago, with our current mayor, Mayor Johnson. And so that's really what got things started. So BLC is absolutely an advocacy organization. And there's a lot of other things that we do in that as well. But ABLE essentially connected with the BLC group, and we became one.
Well, I would say that, and shout out to Winona, who is thug with everybody. BLC is a premier organization, and I was blessed, thanks to Winona, to be at the mayoral debate with Brandon Johnson and whoever he was running against. Right. But to be in the room with so many great and powerful African-American business owners was just amazing. So kudos to the work that you guys are doing.
And you're leading some new, really big initiatives. Last week, you put together the DNC meeting. And please share about that, because when you look at the Business Leadership Council members, Arielle mentioned Avis Lavelle, who has been a mentor to so many businesses. And Charles is the new head. Again, this is a group that believed in bringing in new leadership and the next generation to go to the next level. So Charles then brought in Arielle. You've got Lamar. But share with us the whole piece on this big Democratic National Convention and what you've already done, because 3 of your members are at the top of this piece. So please.
I'm ready to hear, because I need a contract.
I'm excited. And so that vendor portal is open.
It
already,
sure is. I got it yesterday for the RFPs.
And so in August 2024, August 19th through the 22nd, Chicago is on the big stage. We beat out Atlanta to host the 2024 Democratic National Convention. The executive director of the host committee is Christy George, that is a Black woman. The senior advisor is Kiana Barrett, that is a Black woman and a member of the BLC. And so last week we had a conversation, one, to uplift them in these roles for them, the Black community. They were celebrated, but they weren't celebrated by us yet. So BLC celebrated them last week. And we had a conversation about the opportunities that are going to come to our city as a result of the DNC and how BLC needs to strategically unified present our talent to participate. And so if you go to the website, I believe chicagodnc.com, there are opportunities to sign up into their vendor portal. They had a contractor outreach event last week for construction companies, as well as the event management event 2 weeks prior that worked on about 3 RFPs that are out that encompass everything from event architecture to event management.
Yeah, it was like 6 different categories in that RFP.
Absolutely.
And it's very easy. Like you don't have to think about it. Just fill it in and do it and put it in and see how it comes out.
And something very basic that you said was everybody register. Everybody, including nonprofits. I know that, again, when you have a resource group like BLC, when you say everybody register and then figure it out. But so they can also go to blc.org, right?
Yes, you can also come to our website. We're the Business Leadership Council on all social media handles as well. So there's pretty much not anywhere where you can't find us and get this information. There also be 12,000 volunteers, which is an amazing opportunity for our youth to learn and to understand the way in which government is built. And we aren't necessarily in a position to effectively advocate for ourselves, but we don't understand how all of this actually works and how it happens, how presidents come to be, how delegates work, how you function and ensure that your community is represented when it comes to voting and ensuring that folks are in space to advocate for you. And so lots of opportunity for sure. So many organizations and leaders will be coming to Chicago at that time. So even if you don't get a contract, you got a restaurant, you better make sure you are fully staffed that week. You want to make sure people see your brand. You better make sure you're down by the United Center that week, right? And so
get those connections.
Get the connections, absolutely. So just really ready to collaborate across the community to make sure that Chicago presents well on the main stage. And
as you've reorganized, we always run out of time, but we certainly will be doing a monthly business piece on for Chatter, so we can help continue to spotlight it. But we run out of time so quick. But can you speak to the organization structure and what you and how you're set up? Because there's Charles, there's Lamar, but just the platform. So folks that want to join and become members. We know Avis has helped lead a lot, mentored a lot. But to just say, how BLC is structured, how to join, how to join, and you've got advocacy, you've got communications, you've got the whole membership and even women. But just tell people about BLC, and you've got a calendar of events coming and how to get involved.
Yes, and before I go into the board and our structure, I want to talk about partnerships that you just mentioned. Because the Tale of Two Cities for Black Chicago should not necessarily be a thing, that we are accessible. So they say we're the premier organization of Black businesses, but we need to be in a space where we collaborate with the local community, with smaller businesses who aren't where we are yet, to make sure that they have a step up to be able to get to where we are. And so we are always open to partnerships and communities, faith-based community, wherever, to be able to provide that support. We have a board of about 13 executive committee members. Avis is an advisor to us now that she says she's tired, but she's still gonna support us.
She's mentored everybody.
I love Avis.
The board is the chair of our board, and I am the CEO. Lamar Brown is our chief external affairs officer.
Shout out to Lamar.
And we have some other administrative members, member services team members that support. We have about 160 members that span across 30 different industries. And it half and half is talent from top executives, and the other half are business owners. To become a member, you can get the information on our website, blcchicago.com, or on any of our Instagram as well. And I definitely recommend connecting with a current member to be able to help with facilitating that process.
So the website again is blcchicago.com.
Yes.
All right, so it's 2 C's, right?
Yes.
BLCchicago.com. And I understand that the BLC has 4 focus areas. Could you elaborate on that a little bit quickly?
Absolutely, quickly. Advocacy is one of the big areas. Business development, ensuring continued contracting opportunities for our members, as well as our talent development and that member engagement. So those focus areas ensure that we're able to build up our members, advocate in the community, and through strategic partnerships.
Arielle, before we let you go, I just want you to know, for the people in the back that really don't know about BLC and this is their first time listening, what are the benefits of joining the organization?
Well, number one, being able to be a part of a community where there's other individuals doing what you're doing, getting the following up on the barriers that you have as well, and being a part of a collective to advocate for you on your behalf. Being able to walk in a room with John Rogers and Jim Reynolds and Frank Clark to be able to give you feedback on how you're growing and thriving. I think that Miss Winona, being able to walk into rooms and have that, I think that's unmatched. I know I don't have a lot of time, but there was a report that came out in 2020 from McKinsey that compared successful non-Black businesses to Black businesses and why they don't thrive and become multi-million-dollar businesses. It is a lack of that network and a lack of intentional mentorship was one of the big areas. Of course, access to capital and all the other matters. The other piece I would say is that everyone comes to us. So when they want to be elected, when they want to bring a program, they come to the BLC. And so now you're a member and you're in the seat. And now you want to be able to push for your.
You're able to say, Tamara, we need books for the library. Absolutely. And she gonna supply them.
But you know what I want you to explain too, because a lot of our listeners don't know who John Rogers is. A lot of listeners don't know who Jim Reynolds is, and people of that caliber. Explain how and why they are so important to be in the room with.
Absolutely. So John Rogers, he's the co-CEO and CIO of Arielle Investments. Jim Reynolds is at Loop Capital. And there's women like Melissa Washington, who is leading at ComEd. She's also on our board as well. They have overcome significant barriers to build massive companies, such as Loop Capital being able to provide historical financing to Allstate, right? And that had never been done by a Black business before. So you got to Google that, Loop Capital and Allstate, and understand the significance in the financial services and being able to provide that type of support. You can go down the line of all the individuals that are on our board. It is on our website, but they overcame barriers that are not that are common in our community, and it's not common to overcome them for anybody, not just in Chicago, but across our nation. And so that's why their presence is so significant, and their willingness to pass on the torch and let us leave that legacy is valuable.
Thank you for that. That was great.
Well, Winona, you did it again. You brought us a new best friend.
Yes.
Listen, Arielle, thank you for all the work that you're doing with BLC and business. Winona, thank you for always shining a light on people that we need to see in the city, because a lot of us don't get to see BLC and their leadership. And
churches are a business.
Yep.
And, we know we have a lot of government as business. So when we look at where else should we talk about business except on Inspiration 1390 and the brunch month. So we will stay in close touch.
Yes.
Big things coming in 2024, the Democratic National Convention, and to have the Business Leadership Council make sure we're connected.
Yeah.
I just think we definitely need to encourage people to go and become vendors for this DNC.
And volunteers. Vendors and volunteers.
Vendors and volunteers. And members of
Democratic
BLC.
National Convention, because when you hear DNC, you're not thinking about Democratic National Convention. But you definitely want those opportunities.
You want it. And you go to what website?
You go to blcchicago.com. blcchicago.com.
That's
Building a Black business ecosystem, not just a Black business, but where you can get support, resources, and help.
And you know what we're building right here? We're building our exit because we are out of time, but we are not out of content. Listen, believers, I believe that God is about to give you a sudden victory. And you know what? On this Tell Me Something Good Tuesday with Community Chatter, I want you to believe it too. Winona, Arielle, look, I'm like, I don't want to say it wrong. And Tamara, listen, God's going to do it for each one of you. And I believe he's doing it for me. We encourage you to keep Love 24 alive. Tell someone that you don't know that you love them. Tell someone that you do know that you love them. Love will begin to spread like a wildfire. We're also praying we lost a giant in the kingdom. Bishop Daniels, Church of God in Christ, Wisconsin. Please lift his family in prayers. Up next, AC Green. After that, Pastor DeAndre Patterson with the afternoon drive. We get it done all night long, right here on Inspiration 1390.
You guys, do you know how empowering this segment was today? Listen, it's not just empowering for the people in this studio, but it is empowering for you. Make sure that you go to BLC, that's B like boy, L like love, C like Chicago, and then put Chicago behind it, .com. Check out all the resources. Fill out those applications to become a part of the DNC and to become a membership or a partnership or a volunteer with the BLC. We will see you tomorrow. So happy we got a chance to see you today. Y'all lead with love, land on love. Peace.